Welcome to Paperweights, the podcast where two self-proclaimed gym rats and shooting enthusiasts delve into the world of literature with a sprinkle of humor. Although their biceps could crush a walnut, don't let that intimidate you. They also have a nerdy side. Mike and Brandon have a voracious appetite for reading, particularly in the fantasy genre, and they want to share their passion with you. So grab your protein shake and your favorite novel and join us for a humorous and insightful journey into the world of books with Paperweights.
Welcome back to another episode of the Paperweights. I'm your host, Brandon.
And Justin.
And today we start a new book, Book 4, Rhythm of War.
Yeah.
How are you enjoying it so far? First 155 pages or so?
Honestly, I think it's the weakest of the four books so far. We can get into it, but I feel like all the characters weirdly regressed. Like Shallan is like book 2 Shallan for some reason, and Kaladin's being like ultra sad boy. Like, the only ones that haven't regressed is like Navani. So yeah, it's weird.
No, I hadn't thought about that, but we can get into that. I
you
will
like it?
say, picked a hell of a place to have a break between episodes. So we'll leave off with Kaladin being relieved of his duties. So
Yes.
we'll see where that goes in the future. Before we jump into the chapters, we are sponsored by Mudcat Whiskers, a beard care product company local to Louisiana. They do ship. They have a website. It's www.mudcatwhiskers.com. And he sells a plethora of beard care products, including wash, conditioner, oil, balm, butter, um, brushes, combs, those kinds of things. And if you are interested in growing a beard or having your beard look, neat and smell great and not itchy and not dandruff, go check them out. Use code Paperweights at checkout to save yourself 15%. If you're not interested in any of those things, he does also sell candles in a variety of the scents. And they'll make your house smell great. So they're great as gifts or great for yourself. So head on over there and check them out. Use code Paperweights, like I said. Lets them know we sent you. So, all right. Part 1, Burdens of Rhythm of War. Let's start with Prologue, To Pretend.
Yeah.
We go back to the night of Gavilar's murder.
Yeah. I'll say this right now. I'm kind of over this plot. Like, we're going to get one more, and I'm glad we're only getting one more. I feel like he's run out of ideas. Like, there's like no more shit to learn about this. I don't know. This is like, all right, yeah, Navani was there. Cool. He met with like 2 heralds. All right. We're done.
I still think it gives more insight. It's gonna really, like, I know, to the detriment of you, it's going to really explode into Cosmere relations. So it's going to become bigger than just Roshar.
Sure. But I mean, this doesn't do anything about that. This prologue.
I think there's some stuff. Let's see. Um, maybe not, but
Like it's fine. I kind of feel like he like agreed to this trope and then was like kind of running out of stuff because like the last couple have just been like, yeah, I mean it's kind of, I mean it's fine. It's a fine way to start the book, but also like I'm so glad probably after book 5, book 6 not gonna have this again. We'll have 5 POVs of another event that will happen, I guess.
I couldn't imagine there'd be 5 more of Gavilar's murder. It's got to be something. It's
Yeah.
got to be something different in the second 5 books.
Yeah, it's just like they're cool, but like they're not like revealing stuff that like it doesn't need to be here. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, Navani, she's kind of doing stuff, and Galar dies. All right, cool. I don't know.
Do you want to was that your summary of it? Or did you want to go into more detail?
I mean, we could go into more detail, but
Yeah.
um, if you want to, I can if you.
Um,
Um, but yeah, so Navani 7 years ago, they have you know, the Persia-India peace treaty. We've read this like 5 times or 4 times so far. We get some stuff with like Pasudan and things, and we get some um insights with Navani and how she feels about Galar and all that stuff. Um, we see that Galar is meeting with two people. We know one to be Nail, and I'm guessing the other one is a Herald. Um,
yeah, I couldn't pinpoint who it was. And the description is uh a short Voran man with a round nose.
yeah, I'm
I
guessing
don't know
it's one
why
of
I
the
said
Heralds.
nose very weirdly, but yeah, I assume is a herald. I mean, the conversation between them that she overhears is let's see, being able to bring them back and forth from Braze doesn't mean anything. It's too close to be a relevant distance, so we don't know what they're bringing back and forth. And then it was impossible only a few short years ago, said a deep, powerful voice, which is Gavilar. This is proof the connection is not severed and the box allows for travel. Yet, not yet as far as you'd like, but we must start the journey somewhere. So this box is gotta be. I wonder if that's not the same box that had the flower on it that the Artifabrian was carrying, huh?
I don't think so.
That'd be interesting because if it's flower, I'm wondering if it's the same flower that's the ghost blood symbol. Um, because if it, well, I mean that wouldn't make sense either because the ghost bloods are trying to stop this.
Yeah,
Um, so maybe the Art of Fabrian is working with the ghost bloods against uh, these guys. But Gavilar definitely knows that they are heralds. I mean, at least one of them is herald because the other guy names him by his name, Nail.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of a shorter version, so yeah. But yeah, he doesn't know. I mean, he's obviously was working with Herald for something and doing something in hell. So be interesting to see. Um, yeah. So he meets them, and then yeah. So then they kind of just talk. Galar is a giant dick, as we know.
He just
He's
abuses Navani by denying her the black gemstone. So
yeah.
the black gemstone's got to be filled with void light, huh?
I assume it's an unmade. Is in there.
An unmade inside of a gem, like
You like what happened in the last book.
hmm.
That way, I didn't want people to have it to like unleash or control the unmade or use a fabrial with it, which I'm guessing you could do, which would be cool.
That would be interesting. Use the unmade's powers in a Fabrial.
Man, I assume you could, but yeah, that's what I assume because like there's some missing, and we saw one get captured last book, so I'm guessing that's an unmade. But yeah, and then like he dies, and then she like goes and sees him, and she's like a little sad, but a little not.
Well, most she's regretting the fact that she burned a glyph that read "Death, Gift, Death" for Gavilar.
Yeah,
It's like she burned it and then immediately went, "Fuck, I shouldn't have done that." And then shortly later, she's like, "Oh wait, he's dead." She's
yeah.
probably going like, "Man, did I kill him?"
The answer is no.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, interesting. Like I said, it kind of feels like he's running out of ideas for these things, which is funny. Um, it's fine. But yeah, it's kind of a nothing burger of a epilogue to me. But
It
it's kind
wasn't.
of it's cool seeing Navani's perspective on stuff, but it's kind of like it.
Yeah, it didn't reveal. It didn't have as many reveals as like obviously the first one had the most reveals, and then Yasna's point of view had some good point of view, some
Yeah,
good reveals. Um, and even Eshonai's had some decent amount of reveals that like Eshonai met with Gavilar that
yeah.
night, and he like revealed that, hey, look, we're bringing back your gods. So that was an interesting reveal.
Which I still don't really know why he did that, but I guess he's just arrogance and makes sense. But yeah, so like I said, like it's good, but it's not like anything all
I
that
do,
noteworthy, other than the fact that he's met with the heralds, which is kind of cool.
yeah.
I wish we had gotten like a herald POV, but we're never gonna get that, I guess.
From this,
Yeah, like if the next one is like the heralds meeting, because that would actually like tell us shit.
yeah, yeah. I haven't looked at in book 5 to see who the POV is. Um,
It's Gavilar himself. That'd be cool.
oh, I'm dead.
We just get we just get a recap of the book one's fight from his perspective.
Yeah. Um,
Cool fight. I wrote it twice.
yeah, it was a cool fight. I do like that Navani decides to, she kind of takes the higher road here, um, after Gavilar's death. Like, she could totally reveal that, he was a dick and all this, but, um, the title of the prologue is To Pretend. So, and I went back and I was like looking at all the prologue names and I was like, oh, okay. They're all to something. And so, she decides to continue to pretend, um, that everything was peachy keen just to preserve Galvilar's legacy and try to continue what she was or what he was doing, or what she thought he was doing and what everybody thought he was doing, which is
Yeah.
not actually what he was doing.
No, he was doing some god shit.
Some shady shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. You wanna move on to chapter one?
Yeah,
Calluses?
the last thing, it was funny, when she was like checking the pouch for the sphere, and she's like, "Oh, it's gone," and then looks around and she's like, "Oh shit, people are looking at me." Here, look, I'll put some spheres back into the pouch so it looks like I'm, paying him homage.
Yeah, that was funny. I wonder when that's gonna show back up.
The spheres she put in,
No, the
oh, the black sphere.
I like Seth is with Dalinar now, and Navani could just ask him. But I mean, that might have. Hopefully, that didn't happen off screen because we have a time skip.
Yeah, we have a whole
Uh,
year.
Whole year or 6 months from dawn.
6 months from Dawnshard.
Yeah, pretty sure because they're like, we found the Soulcaster 6 months ago on Anima
Yeah,
because they actually referenced Dawn Chart a decent amount in this book in this part so far.
yeah, they did.
Um, yeah. So, chapter one. Unless you got anything else,
Nope.
Calluses. It's a Laren point of view, which is Kaladin's father. If you forgot his name, which is an interesting way to start off the book. Uh,
Typical Asian father.
yeah. He's in Hearthstone and still occupied by the enemy. And he's like, he's a surgeon, so he's like helping people out. He seems to be part of the resistance movement because he's helping, uh, basically, helping the Hardazian leader, the Mink, who is a ninja, escape captivity. They've been fighting for the last year, and they've basically just now lost, and he's trying to escape to the Dalinar people to, continue the fight. Uh, yeah, he's kind of doing stuff. Uh, there's, some stuff. There's a lot of stuff about like the occupation and like how it all works and how he helps people and things like that. And we get introduced to the Mink, who, like I said, is straight up a ninja from Naruto. He can just Kagebusha no Jutsu and like disappear and leave like a little wax figurine behind him. Not really a wax figurine, but clothes, and then he can like he is straight up a ninja. It's kind of goofy. I don't know how you feel about a ninja being introduced into the series,
I didn't
Brandon.
even think about him being a ninja,
He's
but
a like he just disappears and reappears, and he's so quiet he can sneak up on Dalinar. Yeah, he's 1,000% a ninja. He leaves. He might as well like you touch him and he like there's like a log that falls because he's jutsued out of there. I don't know what secret village he's in or what hand signals he uses. But yeah, he's the mink. I'm guessing he was in that weird interlude where the guy died in Hair Days or whatever from the crabs. I'm guessing he was in there somewhere, but I don't know. I didn't go back and read it.
and the
La- la-
Kaza
Last
enemy.
book, yeah, where the guy's like, "I'll wrestle a pig." Oh, the pig turns out to be a crab. I'm dead.
Oh,
The one that makes no
yeah.
sense why it exists. I'm guessing it's because this dude was in it. I didn't go back and read it. Um,
Let I mean,
I don't know. He was definitely not. Well, maybe he was named. I don't know. But yeah, while you're looking that up, they're
I'm not
like,
looking at it, I was just making a note,
okay.
but
Well, they're
I'll
they're
go
like
back and read it.
they're like shuffling through his people and like through like the lines are like saying like, "Oh, he's injured, so I need to take him to the tent," and blah blah blah. They're basically trying to do some subterfuge, and then they get stopped, and they're like, "We're looking for somebody, a guy with slave brands." And Kaladin's like, "What's up? I'm here. Let's fight." Yeah,
Roshar Jesus.
where's our Jesus? So I'm guessing Jesus was a little bit more happy than Kaladin.
I don't know, man. Until he got nailed to a cross.
Yeah,
Um,
but that was all part of the plan, right?
that was part of the plan. I mean, it's the whole idea about his 33 years of existence, right?
Yeah,
Just so he can die on a cross.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
basically. But
so
yeah,
did I write down his name right? Dino, Dieno, or did I get hit by
for who?
the mink? What's his real name?
Oh, I don't know. Um, yeah, Diano or something like that. Yeah, Inio, yeah.
Okay.
Wait, Dieno, yeah.
Yeah, Dino.
Yeah,
Dino.
Dino,
Dino the mink. Dino the mink.
who is a ninja.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of like the time jump. It establishes the war and establishes that it's not um, just immediately over. Because if he would have picked up right where he left off, we would have just been seeing like he would have to show skirmish after skirmish. And
Yeah,
now he can just like say, "Oh, hey, look, yeah, we've been doing this. The radiant orders have grown. We don't need to see every like it sets up that fact that we don't need to see every radiant speak their ideals on screen on page. But we've
yeah,
we've got most of our main cast um, that are probably going to be radiants have already spoken their ideals. There's probably going to be a few where we'll get surprised in this
yeah.
book or in the next book where it's like, oh crap, that person, and they're just gonna like fast forward to like the fourth or fifth ideal. Um,
Yeah, so basically, we're gonna get basically this whole section is one long combat sequence interspersed with Shallan doing some sleuthing. Um, yeah, and basically, the yeah, like you said, he said all of Bridgeport except for Verlaine are like heralds now, and then we got like a bunch of random edge dancers
Radiance,
and
not heralds.
Oh yeah, Radiance, whatever. Yes, yes, they all become heralds. They have honor blades now. It's really cool. Yeah, there's like a bunch of edge dancers now. We can get the lift when she appears. There's a couple of things that like the time skip annoys me about, but we can get to it when we get to it.
Okay.
But overall, I think it's fine. I just think, yeah, I'll get to it. But yeah, good opening chapter. Um, Our days is Australia mixed with Naruto, so good to know.
Yeah.
I wonder if Lupin can learn ninja skills too.
Probably. I would assume so. I do like I like that the Parshindi or the singers, they still maintain traditions and mannerisms of the country that they were enslaved in. Um, so just
Yeah,
kind
yeah, I guess they got it from osmosis.
of, well, I mean, they lived there for so long and they just took it in. So
True,
that's
but
like that's what they know. Like that's how they know life is, right?
yeah, I mean, I guess
Um,
it depends on how mindless you are. But I guess they're saying like their cognitive functions or something were working in the background, just absorbing it. I guess I don't know. I don't know, but yeah. Yeah, we can move on to severed chords.
Chapter 2.
Chapter two, you get some Callum, you get some Sherlon. So Kaladin, he's spotted. He's not a good. He failed his stealth check and his deception check. So he starts fighting. Let's see. So he's fighting this one new fuse that can basically turn into motes of light and kind of like zip around like there's some superhero. I forget what it is.
Nightcrawler.
Yeah, like kind of like Nightcrawler, except you can see his little like energy.
It's funny
Um,
because last time I was like, who would be Nightcrawler? And now, I mean, it's not a radiant, but it's this fuse that just like poof and
I
goes
don't, I
around.
don't. Did we get his name? I don't think we did.
No, we don't get his
Yeah,
name, but the heavenly ones don't like him.
yeah. Which I might get to that when they appear. Um, but yeah. So like you can zoom around. They're fighting. He's like, watch me from the corner of your eyes. I'm gonna kill you. Blah blah blah. They're fighting. We get this more stuff that Kaladin's like not sleeping and shit like that because he's always sad. Um, uh, yeah, he gets like stabbed a bunch and almost dies. We learn that they have like these gems or something that can like suck out stormlight. Um, so I will say this fight coming up doesn't work for me, and I'm curious how he's gonna address it to make the fights better. Because this fight has the same problem that the Deadpool and Wolverine fights had, which are two functionally immortal beings fighting each other, and it gets kind of boring. So it's like the fights aren't tension. The fights are interesting for something that happens between Kaladin and Leshwi later on. But like, I'm just like watching, I'm like, oh yeah, you get like stabbed like 17 times, you just heal, you're good. Like the fights don't matter anymore. It's a little strange. I don't know how your feeling is on that.
I think it's more to set up the idea of honor and that they, as even mentioned in this part, that they honor was their god before humans even came to Roshar. And humans brought odium to Roshar and then
Sure.
basically appropriated honor. And then odium probably was like enticed the Parshendi, the listeners, be like, hey, look, this they came over and took yours, but hey, I have these powers. Why don't you come to me? And they're like, oh, that sounds great. And seems that that's kind of what happened, but the heavenly ones um, still maintain that honor.
Yeah, I'm just more saying like the actual like damage does not matter anymore for like either
Oh, I
side.
I
And
100% agree.
and it's kind of like, all right, yeah, shit's happening. It's kind of cool. but like none of our people are in danger because they're like functionally immortal until a plot device happens and they don't have Stormlight anymore. And then they die, which hasn't happened yet. But it's just kind of and like the we need something to like we need like Navani to like manufacture a uh, a Fabrial that can capture the fused souls or something. We need something to like where the fights are actually gonna matter. Because he's like, yeah, like we get it later on, but he's like, yeah, I killed Leslie like 5 times, and yeah, it's kind of like nothing happening. It's kind of like boring. And then she's like, yeah, it's kind of nothing's happening. It's kind of boring. We're just kind of sparring. All right, cool. That's kind of the fight.
Yeah,
It's really strange.
yeah, and like I don't think so. I was thinking about that. I was kind of thinking about that too. It's like, okay, the fights between the Wind Runners and the Heavenly Ones are, I mean, they don't matter for the overall war, but I don't think the um so if we dive into Kaladin's head, like over the past an Oathbringer, right? When he spends time with the singers and he's like, these are just people and they're just trying to live and they got enslaved, and that was wrong. But they also don't really want to go to war, but they don't want to be enslaved anymore. So, like, it's not right to kill them. And I think the heavenly ones, they think the same thing. They're just like, um, you know, I could see them teaming up with not Eshonai,
Finley.
Finley.
So,
Uh,
do you want me to give my Heavenly One Leshwi theory right now? That's my prediction.
hold on. Um, but they view it more as like the duels, right? Like in the war camps where the human like Adolin and the Shardblade duels between the all the um, light eyes, and that's just kind of how I view that. It's just a distraction while the non-immortal people fight each other.
Yeah. Maybe.
But what's your theory?
All right. So it's later on, but we can do it now. Um, Leshwi and Kaladin basically spar with each other and stuff. And it really reminds me of something that happens in book 2 of Mistborn, where a potential romance is in that book, but it's not actually fulfilled. There's other weird shit in book 2 of Mistborn. And I think that Leshwi and Kaladin are gonna. Leshwi is Kaladin's romance partner for this romance partner. Shout out D20, uh, Dimension 20. It's good, but uh, that's their thing, and then she's gonna end up bringing the Heavenly Ones against Odium, and that's kind of like it's gonna be eventually like they're gonna like merge and like fight the real threat with the singers not being the threat or whatever, and it's gonna be like that.
I like that theory.
Yeah, so we'll see.
And
It
I don't remember much about this book, so I'm on board with that theory. I can't either I legitimately can't deny or um confirm that theory.
but do you agree with me that that this section with Leslie really feels like Vin and Vane or whatever that in book 2 of Mistborn, where they're like flirty sparring for a while and like, oh, she's so much better at me. I have so much to learn. And they're like fighting, and then like they like see something dishonorable, and he's like, go fight them, and she goes, you guys fight them.
I don't remember much in book two. Like a lot of Mistborn just runs together. I did pick it back up.
Mm.
I mean, I am that far into just the Final Empire. Like,
Without much spoilers for the listeners, it's basically like the main character has a person that she spars with, and it's kind of flirty, and that's kind of it. Just and he likes to reuse stuff, so I think that's what's happening here. But we can digress. Going back to chapter 2 because we've gone a little far, but whatever. Yeah, he's
oh,
fighting.
Kaladin, back
Yeah,
to that fuse though that he fights the new one. Kaladin thinks It's more like an Elt's color. Um, and we don't know too much about Elt's colors. We don't know too much about what Yasna can do other than like bring objects into the world. Uh,
Evaporate people.
evaporate people. She can soul cast and transport into Shadesmar easily. Um, so
Yeah,
yeah, it kind of gives a little more insight on what Yasna might be able to do in the future.
yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
and the fact that during that fight, so his fight with that fused was more interesting to me than him fighting with the heavenly ones. Because especially when I mean, the brutality of him being grappled by that fused and being um, stabbed at the base of the neck with a knife repeatedly. So he's just like, stab. Oh God, I'm paralyzed. Takes it out. I'm healed. Stab. I'm paralyzed again. And it was like that would be like very traumatic.
yeah.
But
It was cool, but also it was like, okay, he's like functionally immortal now. Like he can't get really hurt because
we know. I mean, you can kill a radiant. There's been some that have died.
yeah,
Um, but and we know that it's and Kalanina even brings this up. It's like, all right, if we die, sure, the sprint will take on another Windrunner, uh, but that doesn't. They don't. They have to be trained on how to use the surges and the lashings and all this. These fused, when they die, they just get reborn into a body. They still can maintain the knowledge,
yeah.
but each time they are reborn, they're a little crazier. So there's going to be a point of probably, I mean, of no return. I'm pretty sure they diminish in, they probably diminish in power each time, even though they retain the knowledge, but they're crazier. Um, but I liked that he recognized the pattern of three teleports, and then they have to rest for a second. And then he sees it teleport and just like swings a knife where he's pretty
Yeah.
sure it's gonna pop
Doesn't
off.
happen. That doesn't happen quite yet, but yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's a cool fight. It's just something that I'm a little worried about moving forward. If it's two armies of like functionally immortal beings fighting each other, it could get a little stale. But as long as it's more about like what's going on, maybe it won't be as bad. Anyway, we can go into Shalon.
But
That was
also
the
they have that Fabrial that severs their link and they're not able to use their surges.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's also interesting. Yeah, so I mean, so like I said, if it changes, but in this fight, for the most part, it's like a bunch of immortal beings fighting each other. Like
And
I said,
I think they that him introducing that device probably addressed was to address this that we're discussing here.
yeah,
Because when you bring that device in, it's like, oh shit, okay, well, yeah, that cuts them off completely, and now they're not immortal.
yeah. I do think we also need something that can deal with the fuse permanently. Hopefully, like Navani will
I'm
make
sure
like
Navani is going to discover something.
a ghost a Ghostbuster trap to suck their souls in or something.
Yeah,
Anyway, we move on to
Shalon.
Shalon. Shalon's annoying and me in this section as well. Um, just because it feels like she's regressed a lot, and I don't like it. And she has a random secret that she needs to remember, but we already did that, but it's something else that she can't recall. It's so
That's
bad.
even worse than
Yes.
killing her parent.
I'm sorry, that really annoyed the shit out of me. I was like, we did this already. Why are we doing this again?
I agree. I did
Uh,
not, and I don't enjoy that. It's like, come on. And then
yeah,
Paladin's the same. He's like, I've got to speak words, but I can't say that. Like, what can't you say? Like,
yeah. At least if we knew the if maybe if he like started to say it, so we at least knew some of it and then like trailed off so we could like theorize, but it's like, no, the fourth ideal is too powerful. I cannot do it. Ah, yeah,
yeah, like what's worse than saying? I will protect those
It's probably
even though
like
I hate.
it's probably like something like I I will forget about the ones I couldn't save to save the ones I will or something. So it's like you have to be able not to be a little sad boy when people die. I'm guessing that's what it is.
Hey, what if it's I will not be sad?
Yeah, yeah, that'd be funny. He's like,
I will not be depressed.
impossible, impossible. That's my identity. Um,
I
but
do not brood.
yeah, but Shalana's in the she's meeting with the Sons of Honor, who are uh Amram's people and controlled by Sadius's wife, Ilalai or whatever the hell her name is.
ILI. Is
Ilalai,
that
who
her actual name, or did she like take on that name? I remember something in book one, or book two, she was introduced and mentioned something about her like not. I may be misremembering it, but she wasn't like born a high ranking, but she
I don't think she's not.
convinced Sadius to marry her because she's a
Yeah,
foreigner, right?
she's a foreigner.
But her name is a palindrome, and so like we know that symmetrical things are associated with like godliness.
Yeah,
So it would it's not out of the
I
realm
think
to
I think
believe that
it's
she named herself that, and that's not her real name.
I think it's like sacrilegious and foreign, but since she's foreign, she's nicknamed that or something. I don't know.
Uh,
Honestly, I'm glad the Sadius storyline's now completely done. Um, she seems cool. Like if she was actually a focus of the books, she'd be an interesting character. But no, she's kind of a pawn. So she's light weaving and stuff. We find out that she had like basically all the people that she has are Radiants now, just like Kaladin. She have what Red,
Vatha,
Vatha,
Gaz, who regrew his eye,
Gaz, yes.
but no mention of what color it is.
True. The lady, I forgot her name, but yeah, they're
Ishna.
all Ishna. They're all there. So she's like posing as this. She's in the war camps because Sadius has control of like the war camps in the Shattered Plains. She's posing herself as like a merchant. And she's like they're like been doing stuff to like make her like a meeting happen between the Sons of Honor kind of thing. Then she gets kidnapped at the end of the section. Um, so it's kind of her deal. Um, Pretty cool. So she's doing clandestine shit. Um, Aelin's with her doing clandestine stuff as well. We go back to Kaladin. You get more of like Kaladin can't sleep. He's the saddest boy. And he's like, disconnecting from people and stuff like that. So he like flew away, and then like he's coming back to Hearthstone and stuff, and they're like, wait, is that right?
Uh,
No,
yeah,
he's
he flew away to fight, and
yeah,
then
that's
is
right.
coming back, and Syl is making fun of him back on the way back. And she's like, "Why are you always brooding, you broody bully?"
Yes,
And when he gets back, he gives the he tells the six war form singers he gives them the chance to leave town or die.
yeah, that's right. This is when we also learn that the mink is a ninja because he Kagebusha no Jutsu. Actually, that's not the right word, but he dipped out and left a clone of himself behind. Because he can do that. He seems like an interesting character. I don't know what's gonna happen with him. And then like the dad's like all sad. He's like, "Oh, they're gonna cause trouble for the town." He's like, "Guess what? We now have a floating barge. Get everybody ready to go." Dun dun dun. That's the intro.
And we got to meet Kaladin's little brother again, his baby
Yeah.
brother. I didn't write his name down. I forgot his name.
Uh,
But he said Gagadin. He calls him Gagadin.
yes.
It's like, is it something with an H?
I don't remember the
His
guy's
mom's
name.
name is an H. It's Hasina. And we also find out that in the last year, Kaladin and Lynn were dating, but she broke up with him.
It because she's not a fused and less weased for him. She got really she could only tolerate the sadness so much. And yes.
Oh, we did get an interesting name for the fused windrunners, Shanayim, which literally translates to those ones of the heavens, or the heavenly ones as they call them. So it's interesting to get more names
Yeah.
of groups of people. So
Yes. Go on to chapter 3. I guess we should go over the epigraphs are interesting. They're like how to make fabrials and trap spread. It's pretty cool.
yeah, I like that we're getting that information because that's literally what she handed the coalition, what Navani handed the coalition,
Yeah.
that made them agree to the coalition. They're like, oh, this is cool information.
Yeah.
But yeah, I figure we can discuss all of it once we finish
Yeah.
part
But
one.
just mentioning that.
But it's fun stuff. I enjoy it.
Yeah. We get the fourth bridge. We get some Navani. She is on the fourth bridge, which is a terrible name for a battleship. But it's
Not a
basically
battleship though. It's
yeah,
it's
it's a,
it's a transport.
yeah.
Transport away. Yay!
Yay. Yeah, they don't have the ion cannons back them up though. So she's on the big floating thing. It's super impractical and will be so easy for the enemy to disrupt. Um, but right now, it's going Jesus, it's going to Hearthstone to pick up everybody. It's got Dalinar in it and a bunch of uh windrunners and edge dancers, including Lift, who's now like growing. She's like 14 now. We don't
I
get
like that the scholar Valette is like freaking out that Navani keeps leaning over the side. She's like, "Oh my God, you're gonna fall off!" Like,
yeah, we also get more Rushu this section, who was in Dawn Shard a lot. So more Dawn Shard callbacks.
oh
Um
my God, I can't say this on air, but autocorrect, or rather, my fat fingers autocorrect did not autocorrect whatever I typed here. But yeah, continue.
okay,
I
good to
can't say
know.
this on air,
I guess
or
it
we get canceled.
turned into a naughty word. So bridge for the fourth it actually has the bridge 4 bridge like installed in it, which is kind of cool. Um we get detailed shit about how it works, and it like yeah, it works kind of. Um uh then basically they set down all we get that's where we get edge dancers and stuff like healing people, getting all the people of the town to leave. Dalinar can like boop out his weird power to recharge everybody.
He's a
The luck
battery.
he's basically a battery. Luckily, the enemy didn't know he was there, because if they were smart, they could have people positioned on Shadesmar and just go through the thing and start killing everybody, and it'd be really bad. I wonder if that's gonna happen. Like if you figure out where the battle is gonna take place, you put people on Shadesmar, and he just opens up the portal, and everybody they just go in and start messing people up. But yeah, basically he's a battery, so they have infinite stormlight, and that's how it's like immortal beings versus immortal beings fighting. And yeah, everything's going good. This is where we get another confirmation that the mink is a ninja, because he just pops up, and Dalinar's like, "I didn't hear you coming." And he's like, "Ho ho ho! I can flash step. I'm a ninja. What's up? I was fighting in Hardez, but guess what? I'll join the coalition." Bam. Um. So, do you think the mink is from a different planet, where the ninja planet?
So I didn't go that far, but whenever I was reading about the mink, I was okay, we know some Herdasians. We've got Lopin, Huio, and Ponio, Punio, or whatever.
Something
We've
like
got
that. Yeah.
three of them, right? In the Windrunners. And I mean, Lopin is the silliest, but the other two are like they're not far off from Lopin. The mink, I like when I was reading, I was like, he is completely like different than any of the Herdasians we've met. And so I was like, man, he does like he didn't feel Herdasian to me. So he could be somebody off world.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, I don't dislike that idea.
Yeah. He
Um,
also kind of reminds me of the cool general in the Wheel of Time. You know what I'm talking about? That's
oh, not the
he,
general, the captain that was in
he's it starts on an R. He's fucking up the
he
Shanshan.
the baddest dude that was
Yeah,
like, okay, I'm gonna die anyway, but I'm gonna do all these things and kill as many Shanshin.
yeah,
Yeah, that guy.
that guy. I wonder if maybe if he's as cool as that guy. I don't know if that's where he's gonna go because he hasn't really said he's like a. But he said like he's a pretty good general or tactician to like hold Hardaz for so long. Just with R, I think the wheel time guy.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up
Rodan, no Rodan, but
Rodell Ituralda.
yeah,
Yeah, that dude's fucking amazing. I
he's
love that guy.
yeah, he's like the coolest dude that's introduced the latest in Wheel
Yeah,
Time. But yeah, so if the mink is as cool, if he's as cool as that guy and also has ninja powers, he'll be cool. Um, so yeah, but yeah, then at the end, basically, they're like, the fuse are coming, we must fight. You know, that's kind of what happens there. You got anything else
yeah,
on this?
I do. So, Navani, of course, she still is. Her and Rushu are like they observe whenever Dalinar opens the perpendicularity, and she's trying to understand more about this power. And like, she knows she could see into Shadesmar, but she keeps thinking that she could see something beyond. And she doesn't know that there is anything, but us as the readers, we know that the perpendicularity is something that goes through all three realms.
Well, doesn't
Uh,
she knows that
well, she knows that there's a third realm.
because the Stormfighter told Dalinar that, right? Last book,
Uh,
you've touched the spiritual realm somehow. From
yeah,
getting over your grief, you leveled up because this is an anime.
yeah. So maybe she does, but she doesn't know enough about it. Like she doesn't know much about it.
Yeah,
She's
I'm
trying
pretty
to
sure. Yeah, I
glimpse
don't think
more.
anyone knows. Yeah.
And so like she's hearing like a tone, like music, and that that kind of reminds me ties into rhythms, like the Parshendi, the listeners and the singers. Um, so maybe there's I mean obviously all creatures in this universe were created by some type of god, one or more of the gods, or ad nauseum to begin with. I'm assuming is the creator of worlds and things. Um, but it's nice to tie that back, and I think what we might see, and I just thought of this. I think we might see that humans they are able to tie into a rhythm, and they've just lost that ability over time. And so they might eventually gain it back, whether in this series or one of the other Cosmere series, or a culmination of a lot of those as the Cosmere timeline goes further into the future. It'd be interesting. We do learn more about the three Spren that can be controlled by a bondsmith, and the sibling is the name of the other one. that's on the same level as the Stormfather and the Night Watcher. But it is slumbering, and it supposedly died before the Recreants. And I think Navani or whoever was talking about it, I think it was Navani. Um, yeah, because she was thinking about Uruthuru and the Gemstone Pillar, and she's like, oh, the sibling, um, like maybe it, died before the Recreants, but maybe it's sleeping like the Shardblade spreads are, and maybe it can be reawakened.
Or like Syl was, because they said she was sleeping for a long time.
Oh yeah, and her. So
Yeah.
the image, the drawings of the fourth bridge were pretty interesting. It's not an aerodynamic ship by any means, but it's functional. The idea that the Trolls can march one way, then they turn the Fabrial around, um, and have the Troll turn around as well, and
Yeah.
it continues the motion in one direction.
And those are on the Shattered Plains, right?
Yeah, yeah. The Trolls are marching around the Shattered Plains, but the vertical lifts that are uh, adjusting the height of it are in Urithiru. So like you would have to have a joint attack to stop all uh, motion of the ship up and down, left.
Yeah, but if you just had a small strike team kill all the trolls, then it wouldn't be able to move. It would just be hovering in place.
Yeah, but then you'd be able to lower it to the ground with the people in Urithiru.
Sure, but like it couldn't escape. I'm just saying
I
it's a very impractical weapon once the enemy learns how it works.
Yes.
Um, for like an actual warship. And it's kind of funny in this, they're like, yeah, we were just doing some tests and now we're gonna go invade Hearthstone. I was like, okay, dude. He's like, uh, it's just kind of funny.
Yeah, I would think that the wind it'd be more practical for the wind runners to lash it, but maybe it'll take too much stormlight.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, it was also kind of funny in this battle section how nonchalant they are about how if this goes wrong, they just lose the war. Like, like there's so many important people in this thing. And like if they encounter like more resistance than they thought, or their plans somehow got leaked, they're like none of them are like they're just like okay, cool, whatever. But like y'all could lose the war in this battle so easily. It's just kind of funny to me.
Yeah.
Um. Anyway, do you have a chapter 4 now? Unless you got anything else.
Nope, that's it.
Architects of the future. Um. We get some Shalon. So she wakes up after being poisoned. She had a sack over her head. She's being carried down into the chasms for their meeting. Uh, they're trying to like recruit her basically. That's what she's been dropping hints on for like months or whatever. But we find out that Islay is not there personally. She because they need like evidence to like bring her in or whatever. So if it's like some of her underlings are there, it doesn't really work. So she's trying to like basically get mine and stuff to get to the main lady. Um, so they use I find it funny they use like a fabrial to test if there's like light weaving that Vale made herself to like lie to them. So she like created a loop to hide her deceptions, which is fun. We learned that was it was Vatha or was it Red? Red. One of her people was infiltrated the cult already.
Red, yeah.
Red, yeah. Um,
I think a couple have, but we met Red. Like she met up with Red and goes, "Oh yeah,
okay.
okay,
Yeah,
cool."
he's one of the guards like holding her, basically. So she tries to basically instead of like initiating just like the capture because Adolin is waiting in the wings to like go down and arrest everybody. But she doesn't want to do that yet because they don't have ILA. So she decides to be like, wait a second, I am not who you think I am. Like, so there's going to be some more subterfuge. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I one of the most hilarious parts in the book so far is uh Shallan had a fleeting thought, wondering at the seamstress they'd hired to do all this work. What had they told her? Yes, we want 20 identical mysterious robes sewn with ancient arcane symbols, therefore parties.
Yeah, it's hard being in a cult.
And the symbol is that if you look at the arch at the chapter icon, the
Yeah,
the bottom, either the bottom it's on the right or the left,
the eye,
the eye with the double pupil, that's the symbol that's on their robes.
pretty cool symbol. We also learned that, for that Maraise also wants ILA to be dealt with. So she's still working with the Ghost Bloods.
Yes, well, Maraise and Dalinar both want ILA to be um, dealt with, and like Shallan, not just Shallan, but one theory that they have, like Dalinar's group has, is that the sons, they think the Sons of Honor want to take control of the Oath Gate in the Shattered Plains. Um, but is
They would need a Radiant for that.
yes, they would.
Maybe.
Um, but maybe they have one.
Yes, because there's a traitor, maybe.
Yeah, there
We
is a
find out
traitor.
later.
Um, wonder who that is. We'll see.
I don't know.
Um, oh yeah, she yeah, so she joins it, and then she's like, I demand that I want to know that ILA is here. I have secret information about Dalinar's plan. They're like, oh well, we already have somebody close to him. You may have
Yes.
covered that. Um,
Uh, yeah.
so
Yes. Yeah. There's potentially a traitor in the mix, and it's
and I
Wit.
wrote this.
Always do is bad.
Shallan takes over and says she's not who she appears.
Yeah, that's at the end.
Who's
So like
not?
okay, so Shallan's masquerading as a person, and they're basically like, all right, we're gonna take like your information, we're gonna give it up high, and she's like, she makes a play of like, oh, I'm actually way more important than you think I am. I'm not who you think I am, which gets her an audience with
Okay,
ILA.
there you go.
She's basically like makes a gamble. Um,
Thanks for clearing up my very so I try sometimes I try to make very short notes to be like, oh yeah, I totally remember what I mean by this.
mhm.
And
uh,
I never do.
yeah. I'm gonna go into chapter
Let,
5.
let's go to book 5 right now.
All right. We could probably piece together what happens in this book.
Oh, speaking of, let's go to book 5 before we even finish Rhythm of War. I was just on YouTube and I saw a video titled Did He Nail It? Non-spoiler review of Wind and Truth, and it was Nerdy Nightly. And I was like, hold on. Like I knew where they were on their read. And so I click on it and I'm watching it, and he's like, all right, my wife was out of town, so I decided to start reading this. And I was just like, I'm gonna tackle it all, 52 hours or 62 hours or whatever it was. And like he starts like giving generic, just like, and this probably happened, and well, not probably. This happens, and then Sanderson writes blah 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 blah, and like 4 minutes in, and he goes, "Yeah, I didn't actually read it." But then he
Well,
talks for another 12 minutes just to make the video seem like he's giving an honest review to freak
yeah,
people out.
yeah,
Um,
pretty good, pretty good stuff. Yeah, we'll get to it eventually. But yeah, we can move on to chapter 5, Broken Spears. We get Kaladin, we get some Shallan. Kind of how this works. They basically, the heavy ones are approaching. The Windrunners go out to fight them. We learn that they now have a ranking system of CP, whatever, which I don't really know what the CP stands for.
And it's literally only mentioned once in this.
Yeah.
So,
Uh,
but they also have formations.
yeah, they have formations. They have CPs. Um, yeah, you got to level up your CP. I'm trying. What do
Character
you think?
point?
I'm trying to think. What's
CP.
I'm trying to. Yeah, what would be a good one? A character point, but that doesn't make no sense. But it wouldn't be like oath. Like, you think it would be like oath level or something, but no. Um, I don't know. Maybe we'll get more. Maybe an interlude will be a dude being tested, and we'll learn about the CP structure, and if it's only for windrunners or if it's an entire thing. Uh, Actually, wait. Is the Psyker level in Babylon 5 CP? Babylon 5 Psyker. I think it is a CP. Terminology. Sorry, this is a lame, but yeah, I don't know. It's just very funny. Oh, it's P1. No, duh. Babylon 5 makes it easy because they just simplify Psyker into P. I don't know what C.
A CP rank refers to the canonical polyadic rank of a tensor, which is the minimum number of rank 1 tensors needed to accurately represent a given tensor through a term.
Okay.
Um, and
Is that a real world thing or?
tensor rank decomposition is a concept in multilinear algebra. So that is not.
That is not the Cosmere, but maybe. Um,
I mean, we know
yeah,
there's math related to lashings and stuff.
yeah. It's like maybe like if maybe they had Teravangian design a math quiz for all the Ren runners, and then they to do their algebraic things for their lashings, and if you suck at math, you just can't fight. Uh,
So
th- yeah,
uh, CP rank is used in various applications like signal processing, medical imaging, and recommender systems where analyzing complex multidimensional data is crucial.
I don't think it's that,
Um,
but maybe
maybe Commissioner of Peace. That's interesting.
sure. Yeah. But yeah, they're fighting in the air now. Leshwi is there. They start fighting. We find out that he's like killed her like 3 or 4 times, something like that. Um, she's like the best of the heavily ones. So they start fighting. They're doing a thing where like they're like honorably dueling or whatever. So like they're not all ganging up on each other and just murking each other. Which draws out the war. Leshwi should just kill all the Radiants. But they're like fighting. They're looking at the new bridge because the bridge 4, because it's
Fourth bridge.
whatever, same thing.
No, it's
Uh,
not. Bridge 4 is a group of people, and the fourth bridge is an object.
they're looking at the ship because the Radiant or the Heralds that we don't get any information about, which is kind of annoying, said that this is a new technology. Um, uh, but yeah, they're fighting. Basically that's kind of it. The fight's pretty cool. Uh, yeah. We get to Shallan. Let's see, Shallan's trying to talk her way out of the proclamation she just did. She says that she has military schematics and she's able to like light weave on top of it and like they can like feel it and stuff because she's really good at light leaving now. And they're like, all right, well, we're gonna take you to the lady, and then Adolin like attacks, and she's like, damn it, they didn't think they saw me get rehooded up, and they were like, let's attack. That's her part. Um, then we're back to Kaladin. He's fighting. He's fighting some more. We learn that there's like um yeah he fights a fuse. He doesn't kill the fuse because it's kind of pointless. Um, they like say if there's honor, so they start fighting. Then he starts attacking. Let's see. Oh yeah, the red light comes back up, and like they're like fighting some more. Um, yeah. Uh,
Uh, so Lynn is like the second or third windrunner that comes up to Kaladin to ask him if he's okay. So
yeah.
like it seems like there's some uh conspiracy to check on
He's been a sad
Kaladin.
boy. Um,
Roshone mentions that there are prisoners in the palace and that they should be rescued. So he goes off to um, find them. And
yeah.
Kaladin's like, ah, I still don't like Roshone, and it still starts like berating him for
I
not
don't,
accepting.
which I don't know why she does that. Prashone got his brother killed and had a multi-year quest to make his family miserable. You don't just forgive that dude.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
sure so. Um,
Then the edge dancer, the other edge dancer we get a name of, Gadeki, takes Roshone to the manor. And then Leslie flies by, chased by Sigil. So Sigil, she had challenged Sigil.
yeah, it still gets fucked up.
He accepted. So
Yeah. Um, yes.
I mean that's pretty much straightforward. Let's see what else we get. Fused. Sorry, the fused can fly forever without running out of void light. They only use the void light to heal and for their, they say rare lashing, so they don't lash much, but they can do it.
Yeah.
Um, and you already mentioned the fused spears that have the gemstone that drain stormlight if they pierce a radiant. Um, the spears also resist shard blades, so that's interesting. We do find
They're
out
made out of aluminum.
Yeah, we do find out that there's about 300 windrunners and 50 of them ish are full radiants. So 50 of them have bonded to Spren. Um, and
Yeah,
then,
that they're running out. They've ran out of honor sprint, or they would
yeah,
have.
they've run out of honor Spren. They're willing to bond.
Yeah.
And then, like you mentioned before, uh, the two heralds, Ash and Talonat, they have given some information to them. Here I wrote down the ashes, told them a lot of information about the fused.
Yeah. I would like to have that conversation on page, but whatever.
Yeah,
The heralds are weird. They're like important, but not at the same time.
I think they know too much to have their own point of views. This
Not we don't need their point of views, but like
need
I
to
don't
be
know.
in the
They
room
they
when they
just
give
they just
information.
don't do anything. So it's like they should just stay dead. Like honestly, would have made it much better. Or like I don't know. They need a whereas like important they are to the world and stuff. They've done like nothing, and like it really took hold like last book when they're like they were at the battle and then they did jack and shit. It's like all right, we're good. All right,
Yeah, they didn't do much in that battle, huh?
no, but yeah, I have fighting, lots of fighting. We I don't know if she appears yet, but what's her face? Rock's daughter is there and her shard plate and stuff. So we get a lot of cameos. A lot of people are there.
So
Uh,
if she's there, that means that Risen has to be there too, right?
no, can remember she was like, "I'm gonna learn how to fight, and then I'll return or whatever."
Oh yeah, you're right. How quickly I forget.
Yes. So we can move on to chapter 6, a loose thread. Um, so we start off. We get Shalon, Kaladin, and Navani. Um, so we start with Shalon. She hears the rescue party coming. She's kind of annoyed at Adolin for ruining her plan that she came up with on the fly. So she runs up. They're like running away. They have like a secret passage. She's like, "Take me with you. I don't want to get caught." So they take her with her. And then there's like uh, they go through a secret tunnel. Um, and she's like, she sees Isla, and she's like, "I'm gonna murk this lady," and that's kind of it for that. She's gonna murk her. And
We
then
did.
yep,
We also found out that Thanadol had started the quote unquote kingdom in the Shattered Plains, but was knifed by a what people say is a think was a prostitute. And then Vema fled in the night, and that left Iole able to take control. So it's almost like people think that Iole had Thanadol killed so she could take over.
yeah, yep. Um, so Kaladin is we're back with Kaladin. He's fighting. He's watching Leshwi and Sigil fight. Sigil kind of sucks at fighting. Um, he gets stabbed, and then he's like, Kaden's like, enough, and he flies up and challenges her, and like they're like traded off, wounding people and letting them live. It's kind of like a give and take thing of honor or whatever the fuck. Uh, then he like bows out of the fight, and then they fight. They're Leshwi and Kaladin are gonna fight now. We switch to Navani. They are still in the middle of the evacuation of Hearthstone. She's getting like you know updates and things like that. We get Renarn's also there, so like basically everybody is there. She's not sure how she feels about Renarn, but and he also seems to have different powers than traditional Truth Watchers because they have some of them now. We mentioned, don't they mention the stump? I think so.
Mention what?
The stump,
Uh, n-
maybe not. I could have
don't
misremembered that. Anyway, they have Truth Watchers now. Um and
somewhere it was,
yeah,
but somewhere somebody mentioned, oh, the one that Lift found. I
yeah.
think it was in the no, it would have been in this book. It wouldn't have been in Oathbringer.
No.
I mean, it could have been in Oathbringer.
Yeah. We get a bunch of stuff with Rushu being like, oh, something's going on with the Windrunners and the Heavenly Ones. They're like fighting strangely. They're like not actually fighting. They're This is where like Navani's trying to observe the perpendicularity.
Nice. Right. How many hours did you practice it? Just
First time. I
awesome.
just I have to read the word. I can't remember it. But when I read it, you kind of just do it. Thoroughly. Yeah. It's where we get like the thump thing that you mentioned earlier. So Dalinar is like powering everybody up in the battle. Then we find out that Muash is there, the traitor. Da, da, da. Then we get Kaladin. He's like he and Meshri are fighting. They're kind of like sparring and uh, flirting a little bit with their fighting, as one does when they're mortal enemies. Um, so there,
Another book that you really love where the mortal enemies just really wanted to hate fuck each other was in
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, that. No, in Conquest Born,
Yeah.
Zatar and
Uh,
chick's name.
yeah, I forgot her name.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And they kind of do at the end.
Yeah, they kind of do. They
Um,
kind of did in the middle of the book too, but like
true.
spiritually.
Yeah, yeah. So that's where I'm going with this. But yeah, they're like fighting. They're like they're basically sparring with each other, and then they see the lightning fuse kill some civilians, and this seems to piss off Leshri, and she's like, "Go fuck this guy up," and that's what he does.
Yeah. I liked I kind of liked when Kaladin used the water and the lurgs as a distraction.
Yeah,
Um, just kind of like it's fun when it makes the combat fun and it brings you back to that world, right? Instead of just like it's could easily just be like, hey, Leshmi flies left and Kaladin follows, and they weave between these people and they fly back up in the air and they back down and blah blah blah
yeah.
blah.
There's also like another part where like he like gets a spear and like lashes it like a javelin to her and stuff like that. So yeah, there's some cool stuff. Like I said, like the weird thing with this fight is like the tension's not in it, but for like the fighting, but like some of the character stuff is kind of good. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I like the character stuff. I did make a note here. This is my opinion on the Heavenly Ones, Justin.
all right,
Absolutely love their complexity. I think they're a little more complex. They're not just mindless Nazis, warriors, just like do this, do what we say. They seem to be able to do what they want without, I mean, maybe they have repercussions from odium, but for now, it seems like they're able to kind of do things their own way
yeah,
and not agree with um, the other, I guess, orders
yeah,
of fused. I mean, we know, and we already knew that Knights Radiants all never uh, didn't always get along in certain orders. I mean, the Skybreakers and the Windrunners,
mm,
that was the biggest one that they said usually fought with each other. So
yeah,
they don't, and the Heavenly Ones generally genuinely don't seem to care about the war itself.
yeah,
They just want to test themselves in combat. Like they don't care about odium versus or like the listeners versus humans. They just want, can I get better at combat? Can I have fun here?
yeah,
Like
which
a
is
game to them, basically.
interesting. Yeah, so I think what it's gonna my prediction because I've been thinking about what this book is gonna be about, and like I ironically the book named Rhythm of War. I don't think we're gonna have much war in this. Like I don't think there's gonna be like, a campaign like to retake Kolinar or something. Like I don't know if that's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be like swaying like Vinley and Leshwi and stuff, and then we're like gonna get like a coalition of listeners into the coalition of our main characters, and then like we're gonna have like a battle or something. Because
Okay.
I don't know. Do you think there's any? I mean, you might remember, but like
I
I don't
remember
know.
some stuff, so I
Like there'll
can't
probably be
give too many.
there'll probably be like a battle, but I don't think we're gonna have like all right, we're gonna do like all right, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna have like skirmishes, and like all right, we took this ground, and now we're taking back Kolinar, and then blah, blah, blah. I mean, maybe we will, but I don't know. Just most of our people can't are like battlefield people, and Kaladin's not anymore because he's too sad. Even though he's eventually gonna become the fourth oath or whatever, he just has to get over his trauma again. Um, but yeah. I'm curious where it's gonna go. I have no freaking clue.
Do you have
Uh,
big predictions? Just wild, wild predictions for anything that might happen to any particular character.
all right. So I've already said Kaladin and Leshri are gonna get together, and they're gonna bring over the Heavenly Ones to the good guys' side. I think Vinley is gonna join the coalition this book, along with whatever faction she's like the head of. If that's with Vinley and Leshwi, I think that's gonna happen. Um, I think they're gonna. I think here's one that I didn't really think of, but I'll do it now. This is a new theory I may have. I think Navani is gonna bond the sibling, or
So
at
you think
least
Navani is going to be a bondsmith?
yeah. I think she's gonna figure out how to like restart Irithiru, and that's gonna like do the sibling, and she's gonna, or at least somebody's gonna bond the sibling. They brought it up. Maybe it's gonna be May Aladar. Um, uh,
May
think,
Aladar bonds the sibling.
yeah, I think Moash is gonna die this book. Um, Considering they basically killed off his character and already, so they might as well kill him off for good. Um, we're gonna learn Shallan's dumb new secret. And it's gonna be that she killed her grandparents. Yeah. Uh,
She raped and pillaged an entire town at the age of 12.
no, yeah. Uh, Final one. I think. Let's be cool. I don't. It's probably not gonna happen, but I think Adolin is gonna reawaken his Spren and change it from whatever Spren it was into just a Spren of the sword itself. So it's gonna be like a shard blade Spren. And he's gonna like become a new type of radiant or something, and it'd be cool. And we're gonna learn that the mink is actually a ninja. We've already kind of suspected it, but we're gonna go to the Hidden Leaf Village, and we're gonna see Naruto there, and it's gonna be cool.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all my things.
See if any of those come true.
And Kaladin is still gonna be sad.
That's a safe guess.
Let's see. I'm gonna think. One more thing. I think a major character is gonna die. I think it's time for one of our POV characters to die. I don't know who it's gonna be, but maybe I don't think it will be Kaladin, but maybe I don't think it will be Shalani. Maybe Dalinar dies. But 4 books, no real main characters died, or maybe Seth will die again. But yeah, I don't know. Those are my weird predictions. Probably like none of them are gonna happen, but
Okay.
the one I'm like kind of positive on is the Kaladin and Leshri thing. It feels like they were trying to set it up, so I'm seeing what you're putting down, Sanderson.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. You have any predictions? You probably remember
No, I'm going to save any predictions I make for book
book 5.
5. Once
I
we
also
once we finish this read, I will make predictions on book 5, and so
and I also think there's going to be at least 2 interludes that we're going to be like, why is this in here? And this and another prediction: the Swanchan from the interview with the guy in the lighthouse are going to show up, and they're like, "What's up? We're from Wheel of Time. We're also from the Origin."
yeah.
I don't know why that interview was in here, but they're gonna show up and they're gonna cause everybody to fight each other or something. I don't know. Yeah, enough of my ramblings about dumb stuff.
Yeah, let's go to the rarest vintage.
The
Chapter
rarest
7.
vintage. is Shallan and Kaladin. Shallan's with Ili and they're like talking. She thinks that Ili thinks that Shallan is an assassin, which is correct. That's gonna kill her. She thinks that she's from the Ghost Bloods. Um, and then kind of like uh, she she gives uh Shallan information about the rarest vintage, which is like a clue for some book that she finds. Um, she Shalon decides not to murder Ili. We get a mention of Thaddeus again, I'm pretty sure.
We
Um,
do.
um, but yeah, we
Oh,
get
yeah. I think she mentions Thadakar, but later on, when she searches the room, we find out a whole lot more information.
yeah. So Ili thinks that the Ghost Bloods killed all the High Princes that Shalon thinks that Ili killed. Um, and then like we figure out that like she's being controlled somehow. She's like, they won't let me talk or something. I don't know if that's a metaphor or not, but she dies when she gets captured. Um, and then this is also, I think, where we get like the part of like, there's a secret I can't tell Adolin, and it's worse than whatever, and I can't remember it because my mind goes blank. Oh no! It's like we've already done this. But yeah. I mean, we get all the Seddies are not dead, thankfully. We don't have to deal with them anymore. Huzzah.
Yeah. Huzzah! One thing Miss didn't hear is ILI was hinting that Galavilar wanted power from off world. Um, and of
Which,
course, when she said that, she warns that if Shallan finds out too much, that the Ghost Bloods will kill her as well.
yeah. And we've and the book that she finds has stuff that the Ghost Bloods don't know about, supposedly. Um, so then we switch back to Kaladin. They're fighting the fused guy. Um, they fight. That's when he does the cool like put the blade where he's gonna materialize and like kill himself. He like telefracts himself, which was cool. And then they're going to that's where they find the Fabrial that's sapping Stormlight powers. Um, that's and so that's kind of it. They're gonna they retrieve that and send it back. We learn that it's like a Fabrial made from Void Spren that's doing crazy shit.
It almost feels like it's the antithesis of a perpendicularity.
Yeah. Or it's a odium perpendicularity.
Well, that would still allow them to go through
Yeah.
the three realms. This like blocks it. Like Syl kind of says that she feels like she's like not there.
Yeah.
Uh,
We also get some lift. I'm I'm also very curious what her role is going to be because there's a bunch of edge dancers now and she doesn't really have a role. So I'm curious what he's going to do for her in the plot because she's not going to be the leader of the edge dancers. She's kind of doing stuff. But I guess we'll see if she ever gets a POV. But they left us there. She's now like 14. She's regressed because she was
she's
pruned and now she's not being pruned.
she's just admiring Dalinar's big booty.
Yes. Um,
I do say that so I was thinking about this fight. I was like, Jesus, like, all right, you enter the fight and you're like, oh, hey, he doesn't have a Stormlight, he's fucked. But if you go back, you have to go back to book one. And you have to remember that Kaladin, the first big fight we see him, he kills a fucking uh shard bearer with a with no armor on and a spear. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
he's a badass fighter. He's a badass soldier, right?
yeah,
And so it kind of sets that expectation. It's not just like a, I mean, he is kind of overpowered, but you have this like it's not just a oh, okay, plot armor type thing. He's done this before where he was at a severe disadvantage, and he's just like he's capable of doing things without his powers.
yeah. But if the creature didn't telefrag itself, he probably would have died.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
but yeah, I mean, it was clever use of you know, his battlefield abilities. Um, but yeah, then we go back to Shalon. This is when she there's like we get this we get they're like s- doing the aftermath, and they're like we're gonna say that like, she killed herself, and then like we're gonna bring the body to the thing, and then she suspects that one of her squires or one of Adolin's men slipped her the poison, unless because it I guess Ayla didn't kill herself, but she might have. So there's another traitor in the midst. There's a traitor in the council or close by Dalinar, but I guess that doesn't matter anymore because Ayla's dead. And then there's one maybe in um, her group.
Yeah, I think Ishna seems like a culpable spy,
Yeah.
but also we haven't seen Ayatel on screen anywhere since the end of Words of Radiance.
Do you think Ayatel is Ishtar?
No, not necessarily, but maybe, but I don't think so. I'm just saying, like, I think Ishna would be a good a potential spy, but I'm also wondering where Ayatel is. We know she's still doing stuff because Murray has mentioned her, but we haven't seen her on screen by name.
Yeah. For some reason, I kind of thought that she killed herself.
You thought Ayla killed herself?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think so, but maybe.
Um, yeah. Mm. Yeah.
But she, yeah, Shalon's just like at the end of this chapter, she's starting to wonder who she can trust, and she's like, "Man, I'm keeping too many secrets."
Yeah.
She kind of decides that's kind of like the point where she decides that she's going to tell Aelin some of her secrets.
But
So,
not the most dangerous one that she
yeah,
can't remember.
yeah.
We
Move
get
on.
chapter 8 surrender. We get Kaladin. We get Shallan. Kaladin's going to the manor house to get the prisoners. It's on fire. Uh, he finds some people that are dead from a shard blade, and then Moash is there, and he kills Rashon, slits his throat, and then Moash surrenders. And I really don't like what they've done with Moash so far. Hopefully, they make him more interesting because it seems like he's a completely different character and he's just evil now, which is kind of lame.
I mean, he did kill a god.
Yeah, but he's like, I stabbed a dude. Whatever. I mean, didn't seem to affect him that much in the last book.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's done in the last year.
Sure, I'm just saying this is one part where the time skip does not work for me because Moash is basically a completely different character, and I think it's kind of lame.
I don't
Because
think he's completely different.
he's basically like totally evil, like cartoonishly evil, and it's kind of just all right, cool, all right. where he was much more nuanced and interesting in book three. But
Oh.
I guess we need to get more of them. But um, yeah, because he's basically like, I feel nothing now, and you can feel nothing too. Ah, let's just turn off our emotions together. And it's like, all right, yeah.
No, he was, and this is in the second section. He's trying to convince Kaladin to kill himself.
Or no, he's trying to, yeah, and to like join his side basically. He's like,
Oh, he's like, kill yourself. That's the only way to stop hurting.
or give up your pain to odium, right? Like he Dalinar was gonna do, right? I'm making that up.
Well, I mean, we'll come back to Shallan's section. We'll just finish with, um, so
Uh,
he, he's
uh
so Kaladin's struggling. At its point when he comes back, he's struggling with wanting to kill Moash,
yeah,
but like realizing he swore to protect him as well. Um,
yeah, he's being a sad boy.
and Moash is trying to convince him that the only way to stop hurting is to cease to exist. And
Yeah,
he's like, I'll offer you a better way. Just give your pain away and stop holding on to it. Just like, and he says,
yeah,
what he says to us is, they're going to die. Everyone you love, everyone you think you can protect, they're all going to die anyway. There's nothing you can do about it. I can take away the pain.
yeah,
He's trying to convince him to die.
yeah.
That's what he's doing. No, not or.
Or yeah, no, because odium also takes away pain, and he's working with odium. He's done the Dalinar thing.
Oh yeah, Moash has definitely done the Dalinar thing. Amaram
Yeah,
did the Dalinar the well no, sorry, you're
Cameron did.
saying Kaladin did the Dalinar thing where you
No,
can't have my pain.
well, he hasn't done that yet, but Moash has
Given his pain,
given his pain to odium, and basically become pure evil. And it's
and
kind of like
Amaram has did the same thing.
Amram, I think, just wanted power, but I mean, it's kind of semantics, but yeah,
I mean, Amaram was literally saying, no, he's responsible for it. Like he did all
yeah,
these things.
yeah,
So he gave away, like, I mean, pain is part of that, but it's the pain of self ownership, right? The,
yeah,
the pain of saying, I did things that caused
yeah,
all of these
responsibility.
things that I regret doing. And
Yeah,
if you can't accept that you did it and you put it off on other things, then you're not accepting responsibility.
yeah. So yeah, he's trying to get Kaladin to join the other side or kill himself, either one. And then like weird shit happens where like he turns into two people, and then like Renarin shows up, and I have no fucking clue what happens. But
I
yeah,
think that was part of Renarin's power.
I don't know. I we can say this later, but like or now I have a strong opinion on the magic system here. We can. Do you want it now or at the end of the section?
Sure.
Uh, so I'll just say this: Sanderson gets a lot of love for being hard magic system. I think the Stormlight Archive magic system is like pudding. It's a little hard, but it's very soft, and like which is fine because it works really well. But in my personal opinion, I feel like basically anything can happen, and you just kind of go, okay, sure. Like there's like rules, kind of, but not really for stuff. And then like the rules get broken all the time, and it's just kind of funny. It's a thing I had to wrap my brain around to be like just kind of go with the magic system because it's kind of nonsense, but it's fine. I don't know what your opinion is on it.
I mean, he sets up rules, but then also he sets up that we don't know everything yet. So, like, a lot of the rules that sets up are characters that are stating what the rules are from their understanding.
I feel like the magic system is like the same magic system that's in the Wheel of Time. Or like when you after you finish the Wheel of Time, you're like, I kind of understand the magic system, but also you can do basically anything in the Wheel of Time and be like, sure. And that's kind of what I feel like in this, where it's like Dalinar can just kind of get over his trauma and breach dimensions and now become a battery. Sure, why not? This other dude can become a ninja and just disappear. Sure. Like Dalinar, Kaladin can basically fly now, like basically just fly. Um, like it's fine. It's just kind of funny when I think about it. There's crab people that now exist. Um, there's the Dawn Shard that can do whatever, like basically anything. If she did literally anything with the Dawn Shard, I'd be like, sure, all right, works. Uh, it's just kind of funny. It's just something I had to like break myself of because like so something like Mistborn, I agree, is like pretty much a hard magic system. You got the rules. You can push or you can pull. And this is era one. Era two might get crazy. You got uh Ferrochemy, which you can lose stuff and gain stuff. Like it makes sense. Even then, there's some weird shit like controlling the Colossus makes not that much sense. Um, and then like breaks with like the Lord Ruler and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's like pretty well done. This, I feel like he was just like, all right, we're gonna have rules, and then we're just gonna go anime crazy, which is what because this is an anime, so it makes sense. It's just funny. I was just thinking about it while reading. I don't know if you have strong opinions on the magic system.
I don't. I think it's more established than others.
Yeah, I think when I get while reading it is I get it the same as I got with reading the Wheel of Time. Like I kind of know what you can do in Tel'aran'rhiod, and basically know what you can do with the one power. But they do some weird shit sometimes, and it's like cool. They like they've discovered a talent from ages past, and like they do this here. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, sure, Fabrials kind of work similar to stuff, and I can kind of understand it, but it's also kind of magic bullshit, which it kind of needs to be. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Let's talk about Shalon.
Moash runs away after being confronted by his light self or some weird bullshit. I don't know if
So
Renarin
I
did that.
so what I took this as is Renarin went because Renarin stepped into the room, and then that's when Moash and Kaladin saw a Moash that was um like standing to protect people. So it was almost like to me it was what Moash could be come like what he could have been or what he could still become. And of course, Moash is like, no, I'm not that. I'm not that person. And so he's like, I'm never going to be this person, and it scares me to be that person. So I'm going to run off because to be that person, like, and I'm now
Yeah,
now I'm going beyond, but to be that person, he'd have to accept the things that he's done.
sure.
He would have to
And
accept that he did things and change.
yeah.
But we can go back to Shalon.
Okay, what's happening with Shalon? She's talking with her split personalities. There's like a fourth one now. It's annoying. This is where we get like, do we get yeah, yeah, there's you need to remember something eventually, the difficult things. No, not that, not yet. So she has some other bullshit I don't really like. Um and let's see what else happens. She this is when she finds the she gets pattern to search for patterns. She finds the notebook that uh she Isla hid, and they're gonna she's like trying to come up with a way to like what to do about the Ghost Bloods, basically. If she wants to join them or like quit them. She kind of wants to quit them.
Yeah, I
And she
mean,
doesn't know if she can.
I can't quit you.
I can't quit you.
That's that.
Yeah,
We can move on to chapter 9.
yeah. I would say once again for the final time. I hope whatever thing she has to remember is cool because right now I really don't like it. It really feels like Shallan regressed like 2 books, and it also feels like Kaladin regressed like 2 books, and it's a little annoying. Like I like the Navani stuff, but other than that, it's kind of weird. Contradictions, chapter 9. We get Kaladin, Shallan, Navani. We get all the peeps. Kaladin returns to the fourth bridge. He gets food and like everybody else. Like he's the only one that gets it. So like there more stuff about mothering him and stuff. We get Laren, who has gotten the third ideal. So they're all congratulating him. It's like a tradition that Kaladin goes and talks to them and congratulates them. We get Teft. They're basically all worried about Kaladin. He's like, I'm good. And then yeah. Kaladin is still messed up about Milash. And we learned that he's been like freezing up on the battlefield often. So um there's that.
I think Kaladin joins the Windrunners in escorting Navani, Dalinar, and some of the others back to the Shattered Plains
Yeah,
ahead of the ship.
they've made like basically carriages for people that we see later. Actually, we see now. Navani's in one of those like wooden spheres that they lash so they can like stay there in peace. Dalinar's outside. He seems to like the wind on his face. They're going, yeah, like you said, back to the Shattered Plains. She gets um, she like a lot of like theorizing about how to like make the Fabrial and Ethereal like work and all this different stuff and how Fabrials work and all this other BS. And like how the Soulcasters are strange. They don't really work like Fabrials. And she's annoying about all that. And then she gets the message that like from a span read. But it's basically saying to stop, you're gonna develop nukes or something like that.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
Stop researching Fabrials, basically.
Yes. I'm pretty sure that came from a Spren.
It's from a span read, but maybe. Yeah, I mean it's from some.
I wonder, it'd be interesting if it was from the Spren inside the gemstone on that span read.
Yes, it could be.
But it really seems like it's a Spren because just you're capturing too many Spren. Like humans don't care about that.
Yeah.
Um, one thing Navani was theorizing, so she notices the cut on the cut of the gem. I don't like the cut of your jib. The cut of the gem that the Fabrial that the fused used. Um, it looks to be the same cut that's on the gems on the tower. And so she's theorizing that it might work the same. The tower gem pillar would inhibit the fused powers.
Yeah. Yeah. I was
So
just thinking, they have access to Ash. At least they did. How come they don't know how to work the air theory stuff?
they're crazy.
Like, I mean, Ash didn't seem. I mean, she's crazy, but it doesn't seem too crazy. And she's been to air theory like I don't know 1,000 times or whatever. She probably helped build it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Uh, yeah,
Plot.
plots. Let's see. Yeah, so she gets a unknown message. You think it's from a Spren. That'd be kind of cool. She's checked with Honor Spren. They say Honor Spren cannot be trusted, so it's a cryptic. Or we don't know what it is, but we have learned that they hate each other, so could be. Or it could be something else. It could be Shah Anat.
Could be shy not.
Be interesting. I wonder what she's doing in a year's time. Then we get Shalon. She's with Adolin. They have the body, they're going back to Irithiru. And she more stuff about like the truce and stuff. And she's like telling her about ILA and that she probably got assassinated, and she's kind of freaking out. And then they have the notebook that they're looking through. I forget what exactly we get from the notebook. Yeah, they're piecing together. It's basically ILA's recollections of information about what the Ghost Bloods are plotting. We get Nath Nalathis.
Malithus, Scadario, Taldane, and Thydakar. Now,
Yeah,
Scadrial, it's misspelled. They misspelled it, but Scadrial is
that's Mistborn.
Mistborn planet. Nalthus is the Warbreaker planet.
Hmm.
Taldane is um, White Sand. It's the White Sand
It's
planet.
all in graphic novels. You go there and you become a comic book.
Yes, but he is currently working on the prose version of White Sand. So you won't have to read the graphic novel.
Then we get more Thaddeus seems to be the leader of the Ghost Bloods. So yeah, kind of just stuff that you know, they're otherworldly or whatever, which we kind of already knew. And then she's like probably thinking that she's gonna leave the Ghost Bloods.
Thought it was funny. Adolin was talking about something, and she's like, he's talking about the different secret societies, and she's like, Sean's like, hold on, no, this is what the secret societies do. Sons of Honor, ILA leads them. The Skybreakers, Hellerin belong to, and they worked with Odium now. And then the Ghost Bloods are the ones that tried to kill Yasna and find Irotheru.
Yeah,
Uh, this is kind of funny.
good little recap.
I
Adolin was kind of like me at like book one or two. I'm just like, what are there's 17 different secret societies. And
Yeah,
she didn't even mention the diagram. We have no idea what's his face has done.
I don't think she knows what the diagram. I don't think she
True.
knows that the
I mean,
diagram even exists.
well, Dalinar, we know Dalinar's, but yeah. I wonder what he's been doing for a year.
Teravangian?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know yet. Maybe he's the spy that Chris Dalinar knows he's against him, so it makes really no sense.
I don't think he would be working with the Sons of Honor.
I mean, if he was in the diagram that he could like set them on a purpose that was going to help him out, he would.
Hmm.
They would just be
Uh,
they would just be pawns because the Sons of Honor are kind of nothing. They weren't even anything when Galar was doing it. He was using them too.
yeah, it's true. It's kind of like that a false. It's a vessel for somebody to use because they exist. Like,
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of a movie where they use a somebody takes over a secret society to try to do something, and then once they achieve it, they throw them by the wayside. Like, thanks for helping me. You're pieces of shit. We
yeah.
don't need you. Um, no, I liked a lot of things in this chapter. Um, again, I like when people or stories like I like exploring mental health and depression and just how people work through things and analogies and um I like and one of the things I've thought about before is the most of the time at night is when people who are depressed are highly vulnerable and susceptible to dark thoughts. And during the day, when it's light, they have an easier time and they can forget. Um, at least in my experience, and I know others as well. It's not everybody, but they'll forget a lot of their troubles when when it's light outside. Um, and Sanderson kind of takes that analogy of whenever Kaladin's bereft of stormlight, his depression worsens. But when he's filled with it, he's a little less depressed. It was kind of
Mhm.
cool to notice that. Um,
Also, Shalon has like a fourth person now. It's like fathomless or something,
Formless.
formless. That's like, I don't know, doing stuff. I don't know. Hopefully that'll become more of a thing later, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Um,
She doesn't think it exists. Like
yeah,
she feels it in the way back, but doesn't think it's ever come through.
yeah, whatever that means.
But maybe it has. Uh, question.
Mhm.
Maybe not for you, but just in general, just to pose. It's like
That's her.
all the Spren inside Soulcasters, are they the same? Like either Ink Spren or Cryptic Spren? Because we know are those Spren are associated with the orders that can Soulcast. Or could it be like any Radiant Spren and they change different things? So like each Radiant Spren can change things. Or is it just any Spren, like a Flame Spren?
For the Soulcasters?
Yeah.
Didn't she say there's not a sprint in it or something? Or
No,
something?
no, in Soul Casters,
Yeah,
there's Spren
it's like
inside Soul Casters, I think.
a dormant sprint or something weird.
Yeah. So it's like, are they all the same type of Spren or are they different types of Spren?
I don't know. Maybe it's a maybe they're like baby sprint that haven't like formed yet, so that's why they can do like multiple things. So like it's potential. Maybe it's a potential sprint. So that's why I can do a couple of different things. Like it could have been grain, or it could have been something. Mm.
Um, and then like I made this note, and it lines up with your idea that Shallan is uh, digressed, like
Regress, yeah.
regressed. Shallan is struggling with embracing every aspect of herself. Like she literally at the end of last book said, "I accept everybody."
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like it's just like I thought we found the thing last book.
Yeah.
She did the thing, and it's like
And the final thing, obviously, the name drops of the other planets are huge um, for Cosmere, like relating and even if you don't care too much about the Cosmere, you're seeing that there's a bigger picture.
do you think in the main book we're ever gonna go to a different planet?
Could, but maybe not. I think each book in each series, I think they'll tend to stay on the planet that they're associated with.
I think
I think
well,
all Mistborn era books are always going to be on Scadrial. I think all Stormlight books are always going to be in, or let me back up. I think they're going to take place in the planet system that they take place. If there are multiple planets in that system, like Roshar, there are multiple. Roshar and Braze are two planets in this. I think Threnodite might be its name. Um, they two planets exist, so they might go to Braze.
I mean I could see like I don't know, Kaladin or something go into it. Like having kind of what we did last book where they were in like Shadesmar for a bit and like the other people were in like you were through or something. I could see like a character going to a different planet for some reason. Maybe Shallan has to go like meet the Ghost Bloods in their home planet, and they go to like Mistborn or something.
Yeah, I don't think that'll happen, but
Yeah, I mean, this seems like the series that you would do it in, like the big multiverse series, multi-universe series. I wonder if frickin' Zyle and the other lady are ever gonna show up again in this book, or if they were just like cameos.
I think they should.
Be kind of cool, but yeah, I don't know. I think they're definitely going to go to Braze.
Yeah, I could definitely see them going to Braze. But going to Scadrial or Nalthis or any of those things, I can't see that happening. I mean, definitely world hoppers come to that world.
Yeah.
But I think they are coming to the system or the planets
Do
in
we
that
know?
series.
Do we know when the Horn Eater novella takes place?
I think it takes place between 4 and 5.
4 and 5. Okay. So it's been a year since whatever weird shit was happening on the Horn Eater Peaks is still going on. I guess I don't know. That seems like a tease for something. Maybe it was that the perpendicularity was closed off by Odium, and that was like a hint for that. But I don't know. Guess we'll someday go to the Horner Peaks. But yeah, we can close it out with chapter 10. Yeah, I think we'll at least go to one other real planet by the end of this. By the end of book 10, we'll go to at least one other planet.
Maybe so.
That's my theory.
All right. A single casualty.
Or like one of the main characters in the second era will be from a different planet. And maybe they're like
That's reasonable.
but yeah, single casualty. Spoiler, it's Kaladin. He can't fight anymore. He has to go home and do stuff. He hasn't been demoted yet, but he can't fight.
Join us next week for the rest of part 1.
Yes. It's kind of happens, but there's more stuff. So they're going back. They're going back to the Shattered Plains still. We meet a Spren, Yanfa, who hasn't been bonded to anybody yet, and Kaladin's like, "Hey, go bond Relane." And the guy's like, kind of pissed, but he's gonna do it. So Relane's gonna get a Spren. Yay! Um, then they go back to Narak. There's some pretty cool descriptions on how it's been built up and like all the different
Fortified.
fortified with different like walls for the different storms and stuff. Pretty cool. He talks to Dalinar about like the weird dueling that they're doing. And then Dalinar is like, "Hey, you've been freezing up. You're too mentally damaged to fight. You're gonna go do something else. Peace out." And Kaladin's like, "No," but he does do it because he's sad boy. Maybe he'll not be a sad boy after he gets some therapy. And then guess what? He was the only casualty that day. Dun dun dun.
But Kaladin does say he does not want to train windrunners because it's too close to like him not being there and putting people in places where like training people to go do things where he won't be able to protect them.
Yep. Um.
And we do get uh, this quote: "The world had belonged to the singers with honor as their god until humans had arrived bringing odium." I think that was Kaladin telling Yunfa, like, "Hey, y'all used to be associated with the singers or listeners, so try it again."
Yep. And good luck because you're gonna get trapped with inside of his gym heart. So have fun with that.
Yeah, let's see what else. So we did find out that Dalinar is indeed not High King. He is just the king of Uruthura.
Yeah,
So there's just another kingdom. He doesn't have oversight over Yasna.
yeah.
Um,
But
they are on equal
he's
footing.
charging rent to everybody, so he's making a killing. No, he's not, but
I did have this quoted out. It's Dalinar squeezed his shoulder, and this is towards the end to Kaladin. You're not valuable to me because of how many enemies you can kill. It's because you're a man, because you're man enough to understand and to say words like those. He nodded, letting go. This is not a disciplinary action, Kaladin. I'll have new orders for you tomorrow. You can trust that I will put you to work. We will explain to everyone else that it's a promotion. Sure, of course. Take from me the one thing that matters, then tell me I'm valuable. We both know I'm nothing. Kaladin saying that at the end kind of reminds me of that Hot Ones episode meme with Pedro Pascal, and he's like, "You, you tell me I'm doing good, and then or you almost kill me, and then you tell me I'm doing good."
yeah.
Um,
So yeah, Kaladin's gonna do something else. He's gonna go with Risen and be a sailor. So look for the Wonder Sail to make an appearance.
Hey, the Wander Sail.
Yeah, he's gonna be ship doctor on the Wonder Sail. So we're just gonna get a cool little you know, we're gonna have a war story, and then we're gonna have just like a pirate sailing adventure with Risen and Kaladin teaching crab people how to be people. And Kaladin's going to learn from Risen and the crabs how to be a normal human being and be happy because they're learning how to be happy, and he's watching them learn how to be happy, and they're going to be happy together. And that's what's going to happen. That's my prediction.
That's a hell of a prediction.
Yep. And Lift is going to join them. She's going to be the uh, the crow's nest. She's going to be lookout. She's just going to eat all the crabs, so they have to kick her off because she's eating too many of I forgot the guy's name, but his crabs, so he can't form like he loses an
Heartglow.
arm. Yeah, no, the risen guy that betrayed them and stuff from Dawn Shard.
Oh yeah.
There was an N, I think. We just read this book
Nick
last week.
Lee.
Yeah, Nickley. So she's eating too many of Nickley's crabs. Um, so yeah, she has to get kicked off. But
Well, she has to eat one of every type of crab.
yeah. So it takes a long time to eat the giant ones that we're trying to kill a Lupin. But yeah, so like that's gonna be a really fun adventure. With Risen and her two Radiants. Just bonding and learning how to survive and live on the high seas. And Cowden's gonna get he's gonna get not sad, and he's gonna do the fourth ideal. He's gonna come back and save the day. With yeah,
This is gone unhinged.
no, that's what's gonna happen. I read this book already.
Yeah, okay. Uh,
I will say that would be kind of fun. So
that would
hope
be fun.
maybe that will happen.
You'd be pissed though. You'd be like, This does not. This is not where it's supposed to go."
I mean, I have no idea where it's gonna go. So, and Cowden just being weird boy on the Wonder Sail would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, weird doing parts and half, but I enjoy it because we can kind of take our time a little bit more and speculate. We'll probably know where Kaladin is in like a chapter. He's gonna be like, I don't know. It'd be funny if he was a politician. He's not gonna be a politician. Um, he does have a what a city. He's a city lord now or something. So maybe he goes and rules over a little town. Becomes a
And
benevolent high
occupied
lord.
Alethkar? Occupied Alethkar?
Oh, yeah. He could get Shalon to do a light weaving as a fused, and you can just chill there.
What?
I don't
All
know.
right, so next week we will finish the rest of part one, including the interludes. I think.
You start off with sexy Vinley.
Oh, look at sexy Vinley. Yeah, so there's three. excuse me, there's 3 interludes. So we'll cover those 3 interludes. I
Hopefully
have a
one
hard
will.
time here.
Yeah.
Let's
Hopefully
see.
one will be about the mink.
Yeah, that would be cool. So yeah, we got 9 chapters and 3 interludes. So we will cover that next week. We hope you return and join us.
Yeah.
We hope you've enjoyed us. This is one of our shorter episodes lately.
Yeah.
Um,
Sorry for being a little unhinged, but it's kind of
no, it's
fun.
fun. It like instead of like having to rush through everything and go, man, let's not have a 5 hour episode. We got to just shoot the shit on some things, and we're still at under 2.5 hours,
Yeah.
well under 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Um, so
We'll
it's
see how
fun,
it goes. Yeah, I like this format a little bit better. Because, yeah, like some of
and I
those were
don't have.
like, yeah. I was just saying, like some of those chapters was like, all right, we got 12 more chapters to go. So this one, they fight, and that's kind of it. All right, bye.
Yeah,
Like we would just go through it all fast.
it's also less stressful on reading for the week.
True. Yeah.
So I don't have to spend time every single day reading to get through the reading. Um,
Yeah.
I can finish it in two, 3 days of leisurely reading, and then have time to do other things. Because I do like to do other things other than read and record podcasts.
What?
Yeah, right. Um, so yeah, if you made it this far, congratulations. There is no reward, no badges. You can give yourself a pat on the back, and yeah, just a little pat on the back. You do this because you enjoy it. We do this because we know you enjoy it. No, we do this because we enjoy it as well. So there's little buttons everywhere. You know where it is. Like, follow, subscribe, leave a rating or review where you can. Um, it helps us, more people know that we exist. And visit our sponsor, Mudcat Whiskers. Their website is www.mudcatwhiskers.com. Use code paperweights at checkout, and we will see you back next week.
Bye.